if you're looking for a snowball fight, then today's your day. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-30s. Most students weren't so lucky. Most of the freshmen who would have been living and learning here are now living and learning online. And if you want to get creative, you can use a tree like this and turn it into a pull-up bar. Let's try it out. How many can you do? Reporting in Lowell, I'm Connor Smithee. That's 2 and 3 days where this playground could be carrying the coronavirus. I'm going to try to take a half-court shot, which is 47 feet, which here in my yard takes me all the way into my garage. Let's see how I do. So it doesn't look like I'd be getting any ISZone tickets, but hey, it's the shot that counts. The event runs from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. today as well as tomorrow and gives students an opportunity to learn more about the many career possibilities within the field of engineering. President Stanley sent out an email outlining his plans for the spring. We're going to have 2,500 more spots for students living on campus. Right now in the fall, we have less than 2,000 students living. We're going to look at the rest of the map right now. We can see temperatures much warmer across the United States. 100 in Phoenix, 100 in Los Angeles. The entire West Coast is pretty warm. Looking down through the Rocky Mountains, Montana into Texas, we can see temperatures in the 60s and 70s. East Coast is also pretty warm. We got 73 in Boston, 68 in New York, going all the way down. We got 90 in Orlando. Miami, 86 degrees. And if we take a look at the Midwest, we can see the Midwest is a heck of a lot warmer, or a heck of a lot cooler, than the rest of the United States. We got 54 in Grand Rapids, 56 in Detroit. A bit colder when we get out farther west towards Duluth and Minneapolis. But let's see what things are looking like in Michigan right now. Temperatures in East Lansing, 48 degrees, 50 degrees in Grand Rapids, Detroit 46, Mount Pleasant 43 degrees, sunny in Detroit. Let's look at our forecast for the rest of the week here in East Lansing, though. We can see temperatures are going to be pretty much in the 50s, maybe the high 40s throughout most of the week. We are going to warm up towards the middle end of the week, 59 on Thursday. We do have a lot of rain coming. We can expect rain pretty much Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you're looking to get outside, this weekend's going to be your day. We have those nice 50 temperatures and partly cloudy skies. So hope you're having something fun this weekend, Michaela, because we got a lot of rain coming. Good morning. I'm Connor Smithee here with Focal Point News. Let's take a look at your Sunday weather forecast from the National Weather Service, because it might have been football season yesterday, go green, but it's definitely going to be a snowball season today. That's right, the S word. Back on the National Weather Service forecast for Michigan, snow showers, and I don't know if you can see behind me, but it's already starting to snow. Take a look outside here in East Lansing. It's already starting to snow. Nothing's sticking quite yet, but it might stick as we get further on in the day. And yes, that's right, wind chills in the 20s. Temperatures are going to be sticking in the 30s for most of the day, but with those 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts, we can expect things to be pretty cold. And for a lot of the state, we can expect possible power outages as the day goes on. Inland in the state, we can see Lansing, Grand Rapids, Big Rapids, 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts. And towards the outside, going to be a little bit faster, 45 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts, kind of going around the state, Ludington, Traverse City, and even on the other side of the state in Detroit. Let's take a look at these snow showers, the S word that we always love to hear in the great Mitten State. We can see just a dusting or less in most of the lower peninsula. We can see as we get up into Cadillac, 3 to 4 inches, 1 to 2 inches in Big Rapids. So if anyone watching is in Ferris or up in Cadillac, they can definitely tell that they're going to be getting some snow today. But here in Lansing, we're probably not going to be seeing that much snow. Towards Kalamazoo, once we get down south Kalamazoo into Portage, we can see a little bit of snow accumulation there, but nothing too much. This is not going to be our big winter storm. This is our introductory winter weather, storm, if you will. And of course, with these strong 40, 50 mile an hour winds, those of you that live on or near the lakeshore, you're going to be seeing a lot of waves. We could see 12 to 14 foot waves towards the north, Muskegon, Grand Haven area. Once we get farther south into the Holland, Saugatuck, even South Haven area, we can see those waves start to get up to 14 feet. And it's going to not be a day to go to the beach for sure, unless you're looking for a surfing kind of day. So I'm outside right now, and you can probably hear the wind gusts and see the trees behind me. The wind gusts are already starting, and it's already starting to snow. It's really hard to see right now. Like I said, there's nothing really sticking. We're just supposed to be getting a dusting in most of the state. It's once you get up north into that big rapids area, you're going to see those 3-4 inches of snow. But for most of the state, we're going to see a little bit of a dusting, also down into the Kalamazoo area. But that's all I've got for now. Those weather graphics were from the National Weather Service. We'll keep you safe here. Stay tuned on Focal Point News. A small but determined group held signs supporting Joe Biden. They positioned themselves at the entrance to the airport. The protest was organized by Moms United for Black Lives Matter, Rise Up Michigan, and We the Free People. The protest leader says the group was small for a reason. She says they received death threats at a previous rally in Frankenmuth. She also didn't want to give her name for the safety of her and her group.
So I think today our goal is to really make sure that people know you need to get out here, you need to speak up. We don't want this in our state. They are a minority. They are not our state. They don't speak for us, these people who are coming out. And what I think scares us the most is not getting enough people feeling safe to come out and speak up against the far right that is really taking over, particularly in Lansing and its surrounding areas.
The Trump campaign is in Waterford Township today. He'll be in Sterling Heights on Sunday and Grand Rapids on Monday, campaigning for a state he won narrowly in 2016. Democratic nominee Joe Biden is in Detroit tomorrow, and former President Obama is going to be with him. So much campaigning here in the Mitten State right up to the 11th hour. These last-minute stops show how important Michigan is in the election. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Because of a record number of people voting by mail, we might not know the results for days or maybe weeks. Of course, voter turnout on Election Day could be strong. Voters who don't have a way to get to the polls will be able to roll to the polls. In-person voters will be able to ride scooters to the polls for free all day. Roll to the Polls was founded by Gotcha Scooters in 2018. The company says in 2016, 3% of Americans could not get to the polls because they didn't have transportation. Gotcha wanted to come up with a solution, so they offered free rides to the polls in 2018. This year, they're going to be partnering with the North American Bike Share Association and over 20 mobility providers across the country to offer free and discounted rides to voters. The state of Michigan is a key swing state in the path to the 2020 presidency. In 2016, President Trump was the first Republican in decades to flip the state of Michigan from blue to red in his victory over Hillary Clinton. President Trump and Vice President Biden aren't the only two candidates running for president. I got the chance to meet a third candidate in Detroit.
He's the only one that actually is standing for the Constitution.
This is a campaign rally.
I feel that Joe is the one that best represents that.
About 50 people showed up in the rain in Detroit to hear a presidential candidate.
Our current government is too big, too bossy, too nosy, too intrusive. And besides, what gives them the right?
Dr. Jo Jorgensen isn't a Republican or a Democrat. She's running as a libertarian.
Well, the fact that I've never sent soldiers into needless wars, I've never raised a tax, I've never spent other people's money, and oh, by the way, I know how to balance a budget.
The crowd wants an alternative to the two major candidates, and Jorgensen made it clear what makes her different.
Now, both of them want to spend our money, both of them want to make decisions for us. Neither one has an answer to our crushing healthcare costs, and neither one is going to bring the troops home.
Jorgensen isn't alone in this election. The Libertarian Party has candidates in local elections in all 50 states. Connor Nepomuceno is running for Oakland County Supervisor.
Now is the time to start a new legacy and bring Oakland County in a whole new direction entirely. And I feel that, as a libertarian, that giving Oakland County residents more freedoms is the way to do that.
The candidates and their supporters don't think voting third party means they're throwing their vote away.
Your vote is not owed to one of those duopoly candidates. You should vote for someone you believe in, someone who aligns with your principles.
Voting for your principles was a common theme at this rally.
I have a set of principles that I believe in, founded in freedom to live the way we want to live.
The Libertarian Party is smaller than the two major parties, but they are dedicated. Supporters came from across the state to hear this presidential candidate. "4 years ago, Michigan helped President Trump.
Remember that? 4 years ago,
It was a red wave on a rainy, wet day.
He's the best president that we've ever had, hands down.
Like I said, he fights for people like us every day.
Thousands of Michiganders welcomed President Trump. He stepped off Air Force One at the Lansing airport and rallied his supporters for an hour. They welcomed him to the Lansing airport, where thousands braved the rain to hear him speak.
These people are tough. They're from Lansing.
The president started his rally at 3 p.m. By that time, some fans had been waiting in line for 24 hours.
And he's working for us. That's what I take away from it.
Trump talked about his opponent,
Be the first one. I will raise your taxes massively.
gas prices,
How do you like the gasoline prices at $2?
and the crowd cheered his message.
And I've been a Democratic activist for, like 40 years. Trump, his policies just made sense.
Well, we saw somebody fired up about winning an election.
Michigan was one of 3 rally stops on that day for the president. Those other campaign stops were Wisconsin and Nebraska. Campus is empty. Well, mostly empty.
I was a little heartbroken at first, but I can't say I didn't see it coming.
Ben Adams is one of less than 2,000 students living on campus this semester.
But I was anxious, was I going to be able to go to campus?
A far cry from the 14,000 students that normally call campus home.
So I've been able to meet a lot of people on Zoom and in person, and that's kind of kept me going.
Most students weren't so lucky. Most of the freshmen who would have been living and learning here are now living and learning online.
I was frustrated, but also not surprised.
But I just thought there was too much of a risk and uncertainty to plan on going this semester.
Dana Olson and Rohit Paul are 2 of the thousands of MSU freshmen learning from home.
I definitely thought it was gonna be just for first semester.
Making new friends has been difficult for these students in a virtual environment.
It's all right. I think it's the best you can get.
And neither one is optimistic about the idea of an online spring semester.
If it continues, I'll start to feel more and more like I want to be on campus and that I might want to be somewhere else.
Unless things change for spring, thousands of students will continue to learn online. In East Lansing, I'm Connor Smithee, Focal Point News.